What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in today's episode of Classic Arcade. This is Chris here, and I'm here with...
This is Stef.
And on today's episode, we'll be talking about HBO Lovecraft's...
Country.
Yeah, Country.
Episode 2.
Yeah, episode 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Yeah, we're going to have to do 2 and 3. Well, not have to do 2 and 3, but... yeah, we're going to talk about episode 2 and 3. What was your?
We're gonna talk about like 2 first, right? And then we talk about 3.
Yeah, we can talk. Yeah, we can do it like that. We don't have to mash them up.
Okay, all right. I don't know because I get thrown off.
Yeah, because it is a lot going on in these last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably want to. So yeah, what was your take on that? What was your take on episode 2?
It was interesting because episode 2 had that title, "Whitey's on the Moon."
Oh yeah. Just got her.
Yeah, exactly. And I was when I saw the title, I was like, "All right, this should be interesting." And when it picked up, though, I mean, the previous episode ended a bit differently. You know, with them arriving at the house and everything, right?
Yeah.
So I was expecting in this episode it was going to pick right up where they were maybe like right after being greeted at the house, and we get some information in.
Yeah.
But it starts out with that "Moving On Up" Jefferson song.
Oh yeah.
And they're in the mansion already, and it seems like
they skipped
it
something.
skipped a bit.
Yeah. Kind of wanted to see exactly what was going on because I see exactly what you're saying. Because once they got into the house, it was like they were moving on up, but it was like all of a sudden, like you start to realize like they were being treated badly and shit. So it's like you know they weren't in the best place. So I was trying to figure out what was that transition from the front door episode 1.
Right, they went from the front door to everybody got their own room trying on outfits.
Yeah, trying on outfits.
And the uncle got all the books in the world.
Yeah, so I was trying to figure out what was so pleasant that had them feel it, just had them like, oh yeah, we up in the rooms and all of that stuff. So like, they kind of did skip out on that. So, I see what you're saying about that. What did you think about the some of the suspense in that episode? There was a lot of suspense in that episode.
Yeah, there was a lot of suspense from, I say, once they were seated at that table for breakfast.
Yeah.
It kind of actually started right after the shot of seeing, you know how they showed like the moving on up, and you got to see Lita dancing around with the, trying on different outfits, so the uncle reading the books.
Yeah.
And they didn't show Atticus yet, so the whole time I'm watching that, I'm like, where's Atticus? When they finally show him, he's sitting there wearing that, sitting in his room, and he's kind of dressed like Luke Cage a little bit.
Okay,
wearing the Luke Cage colors, right?
Yeah, that is true.
And so to me, it started tense right there. I was like, oh, this should be interesting,
Yeah.
And then once it got tenser at the breakfast, and then after the breakfast, we had the whole breakfast had the whole scene where they're being watched and everything.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
So it was they had tension going on there. So it was with the tension. It was really it was good. It was well done.
What did you think about when the guy cut his liver out and fed it to everybody?
Oh yeah, I thought that was gross. When Atticus had first walked in on the surgery, and he was saying he's about to meet his that guy's like a relative. No, it's not a relative of his, but he's supposed to meet the guy, right? The brave white guy.
Yeah.
And so when he walked into the surgery, I wasn't sure if he was the guy that was on the table or he was the guy that was doing the surgery, right? With the cloak on.
Yeah.
Harry Potter cloak.
Yeah.
So then he took the thing out, I had it removed from him, and I didn't think they were going to eat it. But once they showed that scene next, I was like, it's pretty gross. It wasn't the grossest thing I've seen on TV, but that's pretty gross. Especially when the fact that you actually watched it be removed and he was all yelling and everything.
Yeah.
And he's obviously like a weird occultist dude.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. It was so I really liked the part when Atticus' uncle went ahead and brushed up on his information about Atticus' birthright, and I was able to kick everybody out of the dinner. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was a cool scene. I thought that was a pretty cool scene. What did you think about some of the scenes?
I thought that it had some inventive scenes going on. From I think you just mentioned the one about when Atticus' uncle, Uncle George, revealed that he was a Prince Hall Freemason and gave some history on the founder of it, and then ended up with Atticus telling everybody to get out the room. Yeah. The brave white guy? Yeah. He was trying to, so basically, with the aid of, so that guy that was Atticus' ancestor, right? Yeah. Had once owned that lodge and still was in their family, but when he owned it, he was trying to do some sort of ritual where he could open up the doorway to the Garden of Eden. Okay. And I don't know what the purpose of that was once they stepped through the gateway, what they would have. Maybe, I think he was going to achieve immortality or something, maybe. Yeah. I think that's what it was. And so then the brave white guy was trying to follow through with that work. And his daughter had pointed out to him, I guess, that brave white had an ancestor, you know? Okay. And so maybe if you had his blood or something, because the other guy, Atticus' ancestor, was the one that got the closest to doing it, right? Okay. So they like, well, if we can get his blood back, and then my mastery of the wizardry art, then it could probably happen or something, right? So was Brave White part of the bloodline? Nah, he wasn't part of the bloodline. Oh. No, he was like a rich guy that was a lodge member, but he was like advanced enough to be. We're like, he can say stuff. I'm not listening because he probably achieved more than the other members did. He's probably way higher up than them. I believe. Yeah. I know he'd achieved invincibility. That's what his daughter Christina was saying. Okay. That's how he was able to be cut open and be walking around like that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's a lot going on. Yeah, it was a pretty crazy episode. I want to talk about. When they began to kind of like hallucinate, all three of them were stuck in their room. Yeah. And they all kind of basically, they got attacked by their fears. Mm-hmm. I thought it was an okay scene. It wasn't really nothing super innovative, but yeah, it was alright. Yeah, I feel like it was an okay scene. I thought it was kind of intense a little bit, not really, but I mean, I see where they were going with it, but I thought I'd just touch on that scene because I think that was probably a scene the majority of people were probably talking about. It didn't really, to me, it didn't serve the story all that much, because we seen it with Christina was about to sleep with Atticus and then he had a snake, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, I don't really get that, Yeah. And then the CGI on the snake was a little bad, but yeah. Then for Atticus, it was like, he was in Vietnam or something. Yeah, fighting a Vietnamese woman. Yeah, his was the most dramatic. Yeah, the uncles was dramatic. His was good with his wife, right? Yeah, it was like, what's going on? Yeah, you know what I thought was happening when that scene was going on that I wish maybe they would have touched on a little bit more. Was I thought that because you know how at first it was Atticus and he was like. They were cutting between Atticus kissing Letty in the room, to Atticus in the other room where the Vietnamese person was, right? Yeah. See, I thought for a moment, which I thought they were doing, was that they were making Atticus hallucinate and see her as a Vietnamese. Oh yeah. So he was beating her, attacking her, and she's like yelling and stuff, and everything it looks like she's doing looks aggressive to him. So he's like, still, I thought that's what they were doing at first. And then all of a sudden they showed them in the hallway and everybody just like watching them through the doors like it's some sort of show or something. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, I get it. Yeah. If that would have, that'd have been crazy if that would have happened. Yeah. They would have painted Atticus as like like maybe he couldn't control the shit or something. Right. Yeah. So, because he still would have been the protagonist of the show. So it kind of like, he could snap at any moment. Yeah, shit. He was really in the war, man. So like PTSD. Yeah, I looked at him like that. Mm-hmm. They freed when they finally caught up and was able to get Atticus' father. Right. From he wasn't too happy when they showed up, but it kind of worked out. We saw his uncle get killed. What'd you think of that though? Like the whole lead up to that. Once they found after they left for breakfast and they went to the town and then found the little tower and that whole racist scene that was there. About the allusion to the black bear and a black person, you know.
Oh yeah. I think that it was okay. It was alright. It was kind of expected as far as them, going up there to get him. Of course, everybody probably expected that.
Mm-hmm.
I could not understand why he wasn't too happy to see them when he broke out. Well, I can't understand.
Yeah, it was a bit confusing.
Yeah, it was a little bit confusing. But I mean, he was breaking out at the same time they was looking for him.
Right.
But it was still kind of the same.
I didn't realize it at first when they showed that scene. I thought they were showing them going through the tunnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they went through the tunnel, right?
They started moving. No, they were on the outside waiting for him. I think
they went outside.
I think they were on the outside. He went through the tunnel. Cause remember, he came up by the ground.
But he did. But then they find the brick.
They started moving. I think they started moving.
They started moving the bricks. They see the way out, right?
Yeah, but nothing happened after that. They were like on the other side, I think, waiting for him. I think.
So at first I thought they were cutting. They were showing like they were too late.
Oh yeah,
that was him. They were just doing a flashback of him escaping a long time ago or something. Yeah, we don't know what happened to him after that.
Yeah, but they were right.
But they was like right there. So it was kind of weird to me when they had met him and he was kind of upset that they had.
Yeah, that was a little strange.
It was confusing.
Because they, so I ain't really that part right there. I was like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They could have kind of changed that.
But then after that, we had the what did we have? Them trying to escape, right?
Yeah.
What'd you think of that scene when they tried to make the escape and the whole force field was up? You think that was
that's my go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, what'd you think of that? Because it was just
in the show. That's my biggest thing. I really don't like is that force field shit. I mean, the CGI on it isn't that cool.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know what they're doing is like we're trying to keep them within the boundaries of a state and all of that other shit, but it just it's kind of corny to me.
Mm-hmm.
But that whole transition with with Brace White hopping out the car with the pistol and shit,
right? Yeah,
all of that they could have kind of left that. They could have kind of like curtailed that scene.
They could have did maybe instead of the force field.
Yeah. Some monsters.
Yeah, why didn't they shoot the monsters?
Yeah, I
had a monster chase scene.
It would have made more sense.
Way cooler. What if they were trying to leave and they got split up? I mean, the same thing could have happened eventually. Like the way that he got shot, and so did the uncle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 2 people got wounded, right?
Yeah.
You could have did the same thing with a chase with monsters and all the magicians that was all there coming after them. Imagine seeing all of the magicians coming, and you could kind of see what these weirdos could do.
Yeah. It would have been more of a fun scene. That scene really wasn't too. It was you've done seen that scene before,
right?
So, and that was the force field.
Now the force field,
the whole, whatever. The guys catching up to him. Hey, motherfucker, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they could have changed that scene a little bit. I know Atticus had to make a decision in that episode, and his uncle got killed because Brace White couldn't finish the ritual because he couldn't. Shit, the house started burning down and fucking.
But he couldn't finish the ritual because of the something happened, right? It went wrong somewhere along the line, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it seemed like it was working at first.
Yeah.
And then Atticus saw his ancestor, right? The one that escaped the first time the house caught on fire.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, with the ritual, it didn't go too well. And then, Atticus saw, his ancestor, and she, kind of, guided him out the mansion or whatever, so.
It was collapsing the whole time he was running out.
Yeah.
That was kind of dramatic.
Yeah, it was collapsing, and she showed him the way out.
That was tense.
Yeah, that was a tense scene, and that was pretty much it about episode 2. It was a good episode, It wasn't the best episode, but it was worth watching. Episode 3 was much better. What did you think about episode 3? You kind of guide us into some of the things that kind of went on in episode 3.
Episode 3. Didn't it start off with the purchase of the house?
Yeah. Start off with the purchase of the house.
Yeah, so it starts out with the purchase of the house.
Yeah,
and
go ahead.
I thought it was kind of, again, it was a little, the episode was not picking up where the last episode left off.
Well, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just a bunch. It's just open ended.
Yeah, but it leaves some things to be left
to the imagination.
Yeah, I mean, because
a lot to be left to the imagination. Because some things don't really pick back up. You kind of do need answers or want answers.
I mean, the uncle did die, right?
Maybe he might come back to life.
Yeah, I think he might come back to life. I don't know if we get a funeral because in this episode, episode 3, she's living in a new part of town.
It kind of seems like a thing of the past.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing of the past. She's like, they show one part where his mother is asking Atticus's father about what really happened to her husband George, and that's a pretty dramatic scene. It's interesting, but other than that, I think they're just going to leave that to the wayside. So, I mean, if that's the case, I just hope that the show picks up momentum, at least the momentum that it had in episode 1. Because so far to me, out of all 3 episodes, episode 1 is still the strongest. It had the best mix of that old style,
Yeah.
That era with the right amount of tense racism and comedy, but it was scary too.
Yeah.
And it came out of nowhere. Whereas, we talked about episode 2 and now the 3. I mean, we get a lot of the racist stuff. I don't understand why. I mean, she's purchasing the house, right?
Yeah.
But I don't understand why purchase the house in like the most racist community.
Oh yeah.
She had money.
Yeah.
She could have got a house anywhere. Why purchase like somebody a real estate agent takes you to that house, but it's sundown towns? Aren't you going to be like, wait, there's all white people here. I'm not going to live here. I'm just saying.
It was probably it was probably like the writers probably just wanted to write it in that direction, so trying to fit her in that environment to make it work,
right?
Kind of thing. So it was it worked. It worked. It was a good episode. It was a good episode. I think that her getting the house and then her dealing with the racism probably was pretty realistic, of course. But I like the Ouija board scene was pretty intense. It was pretty crazy. Fact that we didn't know that we found out later on that one of the young boys that was playing with the Ouija board was actually Emmett Till. He was the young boy. When he asked the Ouija board, will he have a good trip, it told him no. So I think that was a pretty good writing to write that into the story. I really like that. What about you?
Yeah, I thought it was a good episode. Again, it was good. It wasn't as strong as the first episode. I mean, we deal with a lot of racism and racist scenes in this episode from the people that live in the area, just reacting to her. And I mean, they put the bricks on the car horns to make them go off all day and night. And that part is interesting because with the bricks on the steering wheel, on the horn, and we get the house party, which was I like that they went for a ghost style house party,
Yeah.
And then we get the ghost in the house, right? The racist ghost.
The homeowner. He was a racist guy, killing everybody. Killing the black. He was actually going around capturing black people from the community and doing all types of experiments on them. We all know that that's pretty true. But I like how they put that in the episode to kind of shed light on situations like that.
Yeah, I thought it was cool because they were able to do that, and then also still draw from Lovecraft because that guy really reminded. I mean, he was probably based on Herbert West, H.P. Lovecraft's Herbert West, The Reanimator. And so I thought that was interesting the way they fit. They're pulling things from the Lovecraft mythos and putting them in the show to this this era where they're in, where it's this racism, and we got to see a baby man ghost.
Oh yeah, that was pretty crazy.
I never even thought about that before.
Yeah, that was pretty freaky to see.
Mm-hmm.
Never. So that kind of reminded me of that old film 13 Ghosts a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that.
But it was definitely a very crazy episode. It wasn't as strong as the first episode. It wasn't as strong as the first episode. It's definitely worth watching. kind of the episode pretty much speaks for itself. It wasn't a whole lot of story and plot in it. It really wasn't. It's kind of like just what it was. It's the episode didn't really unveil any keys to kind of what's going on.
We got to see there's a underground cavern beneath your house.
Oh yeah, but see, to me that's kind of that's true. But that I didn't. What I mean by that is it didn't really nothing that was profound sticking to like Atticus' story. That part that didn't develop. Like the whole Christina thing didn't come back to the end of the episode when she pulled in town in that the silver Rolls Royce. Yeah, so you're not really getting any forward information as to what Atticus is, looking for. Well, we know what he's looking for, but they didn't really touch on that in this episode. It was more so like they just happening to come upon this underground tunnel in her home. So I wonder where that takes him. Maybe that'd be strange if he gets some answers down there, but that'd be interesting. What were your expectations of the show versus what this episode delivered? Like when you went into watching episode 3, after episode 2. So episode 3 was better than episode 2 in my opinion. Episode 3, let me see, did it meet my expectations? Not really, because of I thought that they could have touched on a little bit more or the whole ghost incidents. I think that could have been a little bit more put into the episode. Because the ghosts were there. If we're gonna make like a ghost episode, let's make it a ghost episode. This might just be kind of like a filler episode, if you ask me. It's I don't know. Right, I can see that being the case. It certainly feels like a filler episode. We aren't getting that much information, and then the plot with the heritage and everything doesn't really pick up until the end of the episode when we see Christina back in town with them. Yeah. But with that being said, what was your favorite part of the episode? My favorite part of the episode, I would have to say probably let's say, I guess when the ghosts got to get their redemption and they were able to get back normal and all of that good stuff. And so you like to see the baby man go away? I wasn't a big fan of the baby head man, so I'm glad he got to get his normal head back. Yeah, but the episode it was a decent episode. Definitely worth checking out. What were some of your best takes from the episode? She was doing the shout down against the homeowner, the former homeowner, when Atticus was possessed. Yeah. And she was shouting back at him after he became possessed and was saying, "You better get out of my house." Oh yeah, that was pretty. That was a funny scene. Yeah. It was intense and funny at the same time. Mm-hmm. It was. I enjoyed the episode. My expectations weren't met, but I enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed it. It was it was pretty good acting in this episode as well. So, Yeah, it was good acting. Yeah, overall, I liked the episode. I thought it was a better episode than episode 2. Yeah, definitely. It wasn't as great as episode 1. Yeah. But, maybe there's just one of the drawbacks from having such a good show. Yeah. It's just kind of, you're always... episode 1 it had a lot of scares to it. It was just a lot of meat and potatoes in the show. Yeah. And episode 2 was good, but I think episode 3 we're at least moving back in that direction where we're going to be getting a really good story and scares again. Yeah. It's interesting that episode 2 and 3 both end with sort of, they kind of end. Well, now episode 2 we were at the mansion, so we did get a lot of his heritage, and in episode 3, all right, yeah. So forget my point, but it's an interesting show so far. I'm looking forward to seeing where the writers continue to take the show. It's definitely gonna be there, so I hope we get to see more of what
Atticus' wizardry past of his ancestors was like, or what that, how it relates to him as as a character today, what that means to him as far as an inheritance.
Yeah.
I hope we get the answers to that.
Yeah, I hope we get them some of those answers pretty fast. I'm anticipating to kind of figure out exactly what's going on here. It seems pretty intense.
If you had to rate episodes 1, 2, and 3 on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, what would you rate each of the episodes we've seen so far?
Well, I would say episode 1, I would give that maybe like a solid 8. All right. Okay, solid 8. Episode 2, I would have to give that a solid 5. Episode 3, I would give episode 3 a solid... I'm going to give it a solid 8. The only reason I'm going to give it a solid 8 is because they did the Emmett Till part, and I thought that was pretty good. But if it wasn't for that part, it probably would have fell to about a 6.5 or just a 6. Or a 7. It wasn't a below average episode. No, I'll give it a 7. It would have been a 7, but it was an 8. Really a 7. It's an 8. It's an 8.
That's interesting choices.
How about you? So, if you could rate them, how would you rate episode 1, 2, and 3?
I would give episode 1 I would go 8.5 or 9.
Okay, all right.
Because it was good. I wasn't expecting the monsters or anything like that. It had some surprising elements in the episode.
Okay.
So I'll rate that one solid. I'll just give it a 9.
All right. Okay.
And episode 2, we're at the mansion, and we have everything with we find out we see the monsters being birthed and everything from a cow and all of that.
Yeah.
And some of the suspenses. Some of that information that was mysterious is now filled in. It's not that amazing. I'll give episode 2 like probably a 6.5 or a 6.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. I wanna take back my episode 2. I'm gonna give episode 2 actually an 8.
8.
I'm gonna give it an 8. 3 8s. I'm gonna give episode 2 an 8 just because they spoke on some things that was pretty cool. Yeah.
What did you give it at first?
It was a 5, but then I remember.
Get a 5 to 8.
Yeah, 5 to 8. Had some good writing. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
3, a 7.
7, okay.
Yeah, 7 out of 10. I get a 7.
Okay. Why is that?
It was good, but it did not. It provided more information. I guess we'll find out, like with the caverns, and now there's a racist cop that obviously was kidnapping people. So had some history with the town.
Yeah.
So it offered like teasers of things to come. But as far as what it delivered upon following up with where we just came from, episode 1 and 2, trying to see his sort of like his heritage and everything, like what's really going on with that story.
Yeah.
It just focused more on the moving in the house and the racist homeowner and the ghost,
Yeah.
So
yeah, I understand. Yeah.
For me, that's why I gotta give it a 7 because it was still good though. The acting is great. The moments that we do get the ghost scares are good. When we got when she was investigating the house, after she was hearing noises, in that part where the little that door to the basement had flipped up, and you could hear the voices. Yeah. Like to me, I was like, all right, that's scary,
Yeah.
So it had some good moments, but it didn't really continue on where the show was going so far from what they introduced, trying to figure out Atticus's. His family's historical past, what is heritage?
Yeah. Hopefully we can get to that very quickly. Like a pretty interesting,
One part that I didn't like for that episode is why did she say that was Mama's money?
Oh yeah.
When it wasn't.
Yeah.
Why can't she just level with her sister and told her what happened?
Yeah, was that the mother's money or did she hit the lottery?
No, that was Christina sent her that money anonymously.
Oh, okay.
So why not just say like this is what we into, this is what's going on, or the money could have came from anywhere else.
Yeah,
but to say it's mama's money, and then when she got upset, which is obviously going to drive a serious wedge between the two. Yeah. Instead of just then going like, all right, well, my bad, I'm gonna tell you the truth of the matter, you know. Yeah. And I'll have Atticus back. You know, she didn't do that. I mean, nobody would believe them anyway. Yeah. You know, so it's not like. Yeah. So that was one part of it that I didn't like.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. And then, yeah, she probably didn't have a lot of. Yeah, that's probably. Yeah, that part right there was pretty strange. Because, yeah, you know. I like where the show's going. I like to see more of Atticus's endeavor. You know. Solid show.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good show, and looking forward to seeing where they go. We only have 7 more episodes.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get a lot within those 7 episodes, and we don't pick back up on this. You know, maybe towards the end of the season, and it's more like the next season sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm all fine for. However.
Yeah,
I just hope with the COVID thing going on right now, you know, it's kind of hard for people to shoot all the time.
Yeah.
I hope that we do get enough information in this season that can hold us off.
Yeah, I'm definitely not looking for that cliffhanger that's going to send us into next season.
No.
I'm definitely not looking for that. So hopefully they can cram it all in with some, you know, with some more good writing, some more good acting. And, you know, show us a good show. They've been pretty good. So, yeah.
What do you think of that scene where the cop was driving her and then he grabbed up on the little handle and he started turning all crazy?
Oh, yeah. I know that was I'm pretty sure that's a pretty true scene. I'm pretty sure they do that all the time to people. You know, they were pretty racist or prejudiced. They were pretty prejudiced, so. Well, racist. They were racist because, you know, they had some power to lock your ass up. So
now let me ask you this. I was reading, and now as far as the show, like, do you think it's historic? It's accurate, or is it being fictional in the way it's depicting the race relations? Like, how do you think if the show is real, like really real, and not a fictional show?
Yeah.
Do you think that her moving into the neighborhood and responding to the neighbors, you know, their aggressiveness by smashing out all their windows, and then the white boys disappearing, you know, how do you think it would have really ended in real life?
Well, I'd say it would have ended the way it ended. She's a strong individual. No one wants to fuck with her. I'm gonna say, it would end it like that. She's a strong individual. And they pretty much realized that they couldn't fuck with her because, you know, she wasn't fucking around, you know. So, but I do see what you're saying. Like, you know, would they have tried to come back and bomb the house, which I'm pretty sure they would have tried to do in real life. They would have probably came back, tried to burn the house to the ground and shoot up anything that's moving, based on the fact that they would have been able to, and the fact that the law would have allowed them to do it. So, I mean, but thankfully in the show that there are some very strong people that, you know, were able to hold those guys off and tell them to get out of here.
Yeah, definitely. So, I'm looking forward to watching the next episode.
Yeah, the next episode, we're definitely going to check that out, and we're going to definitely drop some information on that episode, drop some jewels on that one, tell you guys what we thought about that one. So,
yeah, see you next time.
Oh, yeah, so, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. You know, don't forget to like and subscribe. And, we'll be here for the next episode. Hope you guys will be here too. All right. Thanks for listening to Classic Arcade. Peace out.